Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into Sin's Workshop. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. So today we're going to be reviewing The Secret Astronomers. I have to say, this book really did catch me by surprise. If you saw my TBR video for this one, my July TBR, you know that I was really hesitant. So it's a book that's written purely in notes, it's a book, right? Sorry, adjusting flash. It's an actual book, and what the author did was wrote sticky notes throughout the book as two different characters and two different font types and everything, and I thought, wow, this is like kind of incredible artwork and everything. This is their debut novel. Now when I first got the arc, I was like, I don't know how to begin to even kind of read this. Like, do I have to read the text behind little sticky notes? Do I have to try to decipher things? No, you don't. So this was also the Barnes & Noble Young Adult Book Club, not book club pick, Young Adult Book of the Year, And I was really worried and concerned. I'm like, how do we even begin to describe this book? Like, it's very hard to kind of talk about and conceptualize, because it's really just a novel of notes between two people. They don't know what each other looks like. They're just writing in sticky notes and to each other anonymously. And you know what it made me remember? When I was in college, I used to just I had a notebook and I treated it like a diary entry, but I wasn't writing just diary entries. My husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, I would just write everything to him, and he kept it. He's like, I can't really read it because my handwriting's so tiny and I write in cursive. But it's the thought that counts. So I used to just handwrite, and God, I miss handwriting notes to people. That's what this novel made me remember. Before text messaging and everything, just the feel of writing a note and sticking it in someone's, tossing it on someone's desk in high school, which I had to do for a while because I did not have a phone for my first 2 years of high school. I think I didn't get a phone until my junior year. That's when I was allowed to have a cell phone. So I didn't have a phone, so how did I have to communicate? Landline. I did have a landline. And my mom just didn't see the need for any of the extra stuff. She still had us on dial-up for until I started college, okay? Don't ask me how I survived. I made it work. But I would just handwrite notes to people, and reading this book made me remember, just the feel of writing notes. Do you like me? Yes or no? Just the cheesy things. It made me feel good when I was reading this book. It made me feel nostalgic, and it was honestly such a quick read. I read it when I was on vacation, and I probably read half of it in an hour. Here I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm taking this book. It looks so complicated. I have no idea how I'm going to read it. And I read half of it in an hour. My husband just looked at me. He's like, you just started that book. I'm like, yeah, what's your point? It's hard? It's just really well written. You get the emotion of these two distinct characters. You get their struggles as they're becoming friends and forming this friendship and just sharing some of their deepest, darkest secrets and feelings and grief even, and struggles with the other person through these handwritten notes. And it comes along so gradually and it flows. But also you do have the one character who likes to draw, and she draws all over the books and everything, and that's how they first interact. She's like, hey, you, pick some other book to start destroying. Some of us need to use this book. And then, their interaction comes off as snarky, and they challenge each other. Because the other girl's from California, and now she's in a small Midwestern town after the death of her mother, living with her grandparents. Small little town, right? And the other girl has to take a special bus to go to another campus in order to attend her gifted high advanced courses, right? So they both kind of feel out of sorts in this small town. But the genius, who works so hard, is always defending her town, whereas the other one acts like really snobby. You know, like the stereotype of like, oh, you're in a small western town and you just look down your nose at everything around you. That's exactly what she does. And I love that they each call each other out for their beliefs. It's just like, well, you say this, but you know, that's not really fair. They do call each other out through their notes. Like, there's such an honesty to this book between these two characters, because they don't see each other, but they're so brutally honest, and they challenge each other, and they challenge how each other sees just their community as a whole, and also the world, and they come to terms with a lot of their feelings through this as well. And I think it's just thought-provoking and emotional and fun and quick and easy read. You know, I think the book itself just, I get it now. You know, I get why it won the Barnes & Noble Young Adult Book of the Year. You know, I understand why it won, because it's hard for me to just pinpoint one aspect of the book. You know, it's fun, but it's heartwarming, and it's thoughtful, and it, you know, handles grief and, you know, what it feels like to feel like an outcast, and, you know, your first loves, you know, boy and girl. It's cute, you know, and it really did remind me a lot of what it feels like to be in high school. And I think that's the most that I can take away from this book, you know, just like that feeling of nostalgia, but also just like this heartwarmingness that filled my heart. Because I'm like, oh God, I can totally relate to this. And I think anyone's going to be able to relate to this, because it is relatable. You know, I just loved every facet of the book more than I thought I was going to. In fact, when I first read the book, I was like, oh yeah, this is a solid 4 stars. But like, the more I'm talking about it, I'm like, you know what? No, this book was probably a 4.5. And I think this is going to be one of those books that I'm going to sit with and just grow to love more and more and more as I think about it and as I talk about it, because it really is truly unique. It's one of a kind. It has great fun artwork. I just think the whole concept of the book itself is interesting. And like I said, don't be hindered by the whole they're writing in sticky notes to each other. It's fun, and it's so easy, and it's like a breeze to read, because you're getting to know these characters. You know, you're in their heads. You're in their shoes as you're reading it, and you feel that emotion come off the pages. And I can't, you know, keep talking. I'm just rambling at this point and being repetitive. But trust me, it's such an exceptional book, and I think the author did such a phenomenal job of bringing this book to life. And I think the publishers, the whole concept of the book was just done beautifully. So yeah, great book. Almost 5 stars. Oh, come on, it's 5 stars. Let's just face it, it's 5 stars. It's great. You see this grin? Do you hear how excited and happy I am about this book? It's a 5-star book, for sure. For sure. So yeah, The Secret Astronomers. So definitely check it out. Should be at your local Barnes & Noble. Probably a display in your local Barnes & Noble, because it was the Young Adult Award winner. So yeah, I definitely think everyone should check it out. And on that note, thank you again to the publisher for sending me a copy of the book. Like, I think they sent me this book like at the end of last year, or they sent it to me in February. They sent it to me a long time ago. And I feel so bad that I just kind of like tucked it away in my closet, because I was like so daunted by reading it. That once it was announced to be the winner, and I was just like, oh, maybe I should read that arc that the publisher finally gave me, so I can see what it's all about. Let's not be scared anymore. So I did. So yeah, you know what? Thank you again to the publisher for sending me this arc ages ago. I'm sorry it took me so long to read it. I wish I had read it sooner. Thank you all for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with our book with your friends. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your book, and as always, happy reading.